All right. It's your best friend Blake, and this is the Up North Sportscast. I'm here with my cousin, C-Loke. We're going to get it in tonight. Make sure you are checking us out on our socials, Twitter, Facebook, Insta, Twitch, and YouTube. We got them up there. TUN Sportscast and the Up North Sportscast on YouTube. We are going to be breaking it down tonight. We got some Tebow talk. We'll be hitting Club Gruden, some NFC North predictions, and talking some NBA play-in games, as well as the Hall of Fame ceremonies that we just had going on. Got my hair a mess because I'm freaking out for this show. Let's get it. All right. First thing we got going on is Tebow, the second coming. So there's been a lot going on with Tim Tebow going to be signed to the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end. Hasn't played in the league for quite a while now. Was formerly a quarterback for Denver, went to the Jets, didn't ever play for the Jets. That kind of bummed me out that it fizzled out that way, because you at least want to see the guy, win or lose and take his career into his own hands, especially when he had some success with Denver. Goes and plays baseball for a little bit, was with the Mets. A lot of people were saying that was a gimmick, get fans in the stands, sell some jerseys. And now there's a lot of talk that he doesn't deserve to be signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's linking up with Urban Meyer, his old coach from Florida. And they're saying, I've heard weird things, about making sure he gets his pension in the NFL and things like that. But a lot of people saying he doesn't deserve it. What do you think, Chance?
I would be on the part that agrees. I think this is kind of just a complete circus act, just a way to sell some jerseys, sell some tickets. 4 years old right now. Last he played was in 2012 with the Jets. Years ago, a guy couldn't even make the punt team. Had a hard time playing quarterback in the NFL, and now you're gonna go play tight end. I get you're an athlete, but tell me another player, anybody else that can come to mind that's been 8 years removed from the game and switch positions, a quarterback to literally any other position in the league and succeed. I mean, it's a complete waste of a roster spot. I was watching a video this morning on a route that Tim Tebow ran playing with the Jets. It was kind of a little out route out of the slot/backfield. And the guy didn't even get his head turned around. The ball literally hit him in the shoulder, on the shoulder pads. In his defense, it was Mark Sanchez throwing the ball. I just think it's a total gimmick. This is all for tickets, all for jersey sales. I just think it's completely ridiculous. Guy should be sticking to broadcasting. Maybe put him in as some type of coach or player development guy. Just succeeding. I don't know if he's going to end up making the 52-man roster. I guess nowadays with COVID, so you kind of have to have expanded roster or somebody can step up. I could easily see some 22 or 23-year-old, in my eyes, if I'm the GM, being way more successful in that role rather than Tim Tebow. So I really think it's a gimmick. It's just a way to sell tickets. I was just playing baseball. Kudos to him that he actually kind of succeeded in baseball. But I mean, it's just a weird story, and I just do not see this working out at all. What else do you think?
You got you got a young Jacksonville team. The only thing I can really think of as a positive is maybe he gets he presents some kind of veteran leadership. But honestly, I mean, and this is just honest, I like Tebow. I'm kind of, a glass overfilling kind of guy, you know what I mean? So when I can kind of roll with that, but some people might see it as kind of cheesy, and I don't know if that really takes over a locker room all the time. And secondly, I'm not a big buyer in of veteran support. Like, bringing a veteran who knows the game and can teach the game and can show you how to play the game is one thing, but bringing in a veteran just to, boost morale seems kind of weird, especially when it's taking up another roster spot. So I have a hard time saying that it's a good move, but I do love me some Tebow, so I'm okay with it.
It is as far as morale goes, but how big of a distraction is this going to be? I was thinking today, what's going to happen if week 2, if Tebow is on the roster, week 2 comes around and Trevor Lawrence gets hurt and Tebow comes in? Or you're going to hear people saying Tebow, Tebow, Tebow. Like,
you know who we
the
haven't...
fans are going to want it. The people are going to want it.
You know who we haven't talked about as much, since this whole Tebow thing came around? Trevor Lawrence. I mean, this is taking heat off of Trevor Lawrence.
I was kind of thinking that today too. Is, this may be another way to get the media and people to be around Tebow's locker room, be around, period, to not put so much pressure on Trevor. If that's their idea behind it, I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm using that roster spot to, get some guys going to be playing some special teams. Like, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, Tim Tebow couldn't even make the punt squad for the Jets. I mean, if this guy's such a great athlete, how can you not make the punt squad, man? Like, this guy had issues when he was last in the league with not playing quarterback. He had to play quarterback. He was a quarterback. We've seen you play quarterback, dude. It wasn't very good. And he wouldn't play fullback. He wouldn't do this. He wouldn't move around. I think he's a little bit more selfish than many people think. Just because you Tebow and you're the second coming of Jesus, doesn't mean you're always the greatest team player.
Yeah.
I just think he's a little different.
I can see where you're coming from with that. I think he is honestly probably a good person, but I can see where it's important to him that he's seen a certain way, and he's got to be a leader, so he's got to play the quarterback position, and that is selfish. So, all right, we are going to move on here, and we got a special guest with us. Shout out to the boy Mills B. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Chance, doing pretty good? Best day ever.
Forever, baby. Let's go.
That was a good Tebow take you guys just had there. I like that.
Oh, definitely. And we are going to take a trip, y'all. I've been pumped for this all day because I've been stressing out all week. And I know y'all want to go to Club Gruden, baby. Get it in. Yeah. Woo. A little sip of something here. So, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to be building a club in the north end zone. It's going to be 1,100 square feet. It's going to have a bunch of TVs, premium bottle service. It's going to have a DJ, a whole lineup of DJ with 2 DJ booths, big old sound system, and a huge LED screen. All in the end zone. Fans are going to be chilling there. So that should be exciting. Now, we're going to take a trip there. We're already there. You see the lights going, the music pumping, and we are going to do some NFL highballs we're gonna order up our drinks our way. First round's on me, so what do y'all want?
Go ahead, Chance.
All right, man. Firstly, I think I'm actually gonna skip and go last. I think go ahead. Mills, let's start off with yours. I'm gonna end with mine.
All right, I'll go. Okay, we got the no goal shot. It's gonna be 20% fuel. Oh, sorry, 2 parts wide left. The rest vodka until the pain goes away.
Ooh. That should help with the Vikings this season. Always got those kicking woes.
Gross.
Cheers, my friend. All right, I'm gonna go with let's see here, the Bloody McCarthy. That's a little bit of tomato juice, a little bit of hot sauce, 3 ounces overthinking, 2 ounces of the same old play calls. Mix it together, with your overpaid quarterback, and then garnish that with a whole fried turkey and a pickle. He's still doing some things Wisconsin style. Hey, y'all, get it in with the Bloody McCarthy. Hell yeah! Hey, and Club Gruden goes on. We all getting crunk up in here. C-Loke, what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm thinking if I've already had 2 of your guys' drinks, it's kind of getting towards the end of the night. I don't think the reason why I didn't want to go first, I don't think you're going to want to start your night with the Miles Garrett because you're about to get smashed. So we're going to start off with 1 part Mason Rudolph space and then 1 part Steelers helmet. This is the end of the night drink. Maybe before you take that special lady of the night home. You may liquid courage and or maybe something to not remember the night. You're going to get smashed with the Miles Garrett. Your face is going to hurt.
Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. We've been getting into it here at Club Gruden. Feels good. I'm feeling good. That was a great little start to the show. Woo! A little something else in there, maybe too. I don't know. Hey, we are moving on, y'all. We got everybody coming in on this one for Cam Pick'em. And this is going to be our NFC North predictions. First up, we got the Lions. And Chance, what you got for the Lions?
Oh, Detroit Rock City. I went 5-12. Parts of me feels like that might even be generous. That graphic's a little wrong, but we're gonna stick to that 5-12. That would be even more generous, going 7-12. Detroit. Detroit. You're the little brother of the division. You know, if you turn your season around, you have a good one. You know, kudos to you. I'll root for you, but I don't see a whole lot of the Detroit this year. Jared Goff, huge downgrade clearly from Matthew Stafford, and I don't really see anything in the offense this team did make themselves better. They got Dan Campbell now as their head coach, brand new head coach. Maybe it works out, maybe it don't. And honestly, there's not very many Detroit Lions players I can name off the top of my head, and that's probably for a reason. So I'm going 5-12.
All right. Whew. We got this all messed up here.
Working out the kinks still. Work with us here.
Hell yeah.
Everything is
We're on the fly, under pressure all the time.
Live shows. So actually, a lot that goes into it.
Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna get this worked out. So we can crank this out.
We'll get it worked out. And we'll get back to telling you how much the Lions suck in no time.
Dan Amanda Campbell.
Ooh.
looking like PC Principal off South Park.
Was he even a head coach before, Chance?
He was he was an assistant head coach with the Saints, and I believe, and then I want to say he was also a special teams coordinator. Very intense guy. I would say that it's kind of maybe the personality that the city of Detroit needs. He's going to be rah in the locker room, but say that team starts off 0-8, how much are you going to want to listen to that crap anymore? I think it's going to get pretty old, and I think Detroit's going to be looking for another new head coach here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Focus Raz making fun of us in the chat. I love you. Let's get it in. So we got our Lions picks up there. As if the Lions mattered anyway. We got Chance at 5-12. Any games you see on this schedule that matter?
They're tying the Eagles.
Tying the Eagles.
Yeah. It's gonna be like,
I like that.
they're gonna be down like 21-0 at halftime, and they're gonna fight back, and it'll be like 31-31 going into overtime, and then just 4-and-outs or 3-and-outs for the rest of the game probably.
Definitely.
You guys owe me $10 if I call that right.
I like that week before matchup with the Rams. That will be pretty cool to see Goff and Stafford go off against each other with their different teams.
I'm looking for that LA Rams game. Where is that there?
October 24th.
All right. Oh, yeah. Right before the Philly game. Okay.
Yep.
Lock.
We good on the Lions? All right. We're moving forward here. Next up, we got the Bears. The Bears.
Yeah, Bears. Oh.
All right.
Oh, geez, sorry. Oh.
Gage, what do you got on the Bears here?
The Bears, I got 8-9.
8-9.
Bears at 8-9. I got them losing both games against the Packers, but I think if they pull one or two of those out, it could swing the division this year. Could be interesting. I think if Justin Fields turns out to be what people think he could be.
The man.
The Bears could be a team to watch this year, I think.
Definitely, and it hinges on those Green Bay games. All right.
Definitely.
Mills, what you got for the Bears?
I got the Bears at 6-11.
6-11.
Oh.
Ouch, that's going to hurt.
Well, you guys don't think Trubisky's going to start or what?
Bring him back.
Andy Dalton, QB1. Don't forget.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bears got a sneaky good defense. I mean, people really overlook their defense a lot just because of how bad Trubisky and Foles' show was last year. They had some moments, but I mean, their defense kept them in every single game. So we'll see if they can keep it up.
Hell yeah. I got the Bears going 10-7. I think that defense is going to carry them. They found a way to win games with Trubisky last year, and I think maybe they start out a couple games with Andy Dalton, but I'm not sure that they do necessarily. And I think they're in a rush to play Justin Fields, man. They need to make a splash here. They're trying to save some jobs over there, so I would definitely expect to see some Justin Fields action. I think he's going to do better than Trubisky, and I think they're going to wind up looking pretty good this year, especially with that defense. Chance. C-Loke.
Oh, at 7-10. This one was actually hard for me because I don't. That has been noted before. Miles said it. You mentioned it. That defense is legit. You kind of forget they're there when you're paying attention. Hopefully, you don't pay that much attention to Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles. But I mean, yeah, you got to think Justin Fields is going to be an upgrade over whoever they threw in at quarterback last year. You'd hope. Is a rookie. If he grows appropriately, you can kind of see that stretch in the schedule at the end. Actually, never mind. It's going to be tougher at the end of the year. Now I'm looking at it here. We got Baltimore. Looks like Detroit. That should be a victory. But Arizona, I got to figure, is going to be tough. Minnesota, I think, is another tough matchup. Seattle, you get a bye week when you play the Giants, but I got them at 7-10. I think we're going to see some pretty mediocre stuff from Chicago, and I'm assuming some of those guys are going to lose their jobs this year because it's all on 1 year. So I'm going 7-10.
7-10. All right. Moving on, we got the Minnesota Vikings. All right.
Oh,
Let's start off with Chance. What do you got the Vikings at?
11-6. I feel like last year this team was actually a little bit building year, but a little bit better than their record showed. I think this year the defense is going to be a little bit more mature. Like we're kind of, I guess, if you were to say rebuilding, I would say they were rebuilding that defense. That offense has weapons.
Yeah.
For Justin Jefferson rookie year, that guy's legit. Dalvin Cook back there. If Aaron Rodgers disappears, Kirk's got a shot to be the best quarterback in this division. I think that defense can't be any worse than it was last year, so I think it's going to improve. I see this team definitely making the playoffs, probably in a wild card spot. If I were to pick a game that's going to be most important, I might head down to Week 18. So I was at last division game. Maybe Chicago's record's a little bit better than you think, or maybe it's not. But that Chicago game could be big. Say they're heading into that game at 11-5. It depends, what the other teams are looking like in the NFC. That could be a make it or break it week to find out if you're in the playoffs or not in the playoffs, playing for that wild card spot.
Definitely. Just wanted to shout out to Focus Rez. He says the Bears are going 0-16, so we'll see how that goes. I know everybody's loving that here. So
Are they not playing Week 7? Are they not playing Week 18? I wouldn't either if I was Chicago. But
they'll just
walking off
run
the
a.
field.
Hey, we're
They forgot. They forgot they had an extra game.
they're old school. OGs up in this chat, bro. All right. I got the Minnesota Vikings going 9-8. I think it's going to be a rough year. Man, I feel like they kind of peaked with Kirk Cousins on that season where they lost to the Saints. Although they did a nice job replacing the Dudesky who went to the Bills here. I'm losing it. With Jefferson.
Oh, Diggs?
Yeah, replacing Diggs and you come and get Jefferson. But I think they had a bit of magic that year, and I don't see them getting back to that spot. Although they should have a nice running game with Dalvin Cook. See how it goes, but I got them at 9-8. And mostly just not playing well in the games that they need to play well in, I think is going to be the theme of their season. So those division games and things like that. Gage.
I got the Vikings at 6-11. I agree with what you guys are saying with they got offensive weapons, their defense is all right, but I'm just not a big believer in Kirk Cousins, man. I think the guy's not really a great quarterback, to be totally honest with you. He hasn't proved it really. I like to point at the one play that he had where he kneed the ball instead of spiking the ball. That's one of my favorite NFL plays of all time. Wow. But I think even 9-8 is optimistic for the Vikings this year. I think Kirk Cousins is not going to get the job done.
He's a phony.
I think he's a phony.
Mills, what you got?
Yeah. Well, I went pretty biased here, but 15-2.
Wow.
Obviously winning the division there. Yeah, I get what you guys say about Kirk Cousins, man. I'm not a firm believer in there, but feel like he's got that defense we really upgraded. We signed Patrick Peterson on there. I think he's going to help those cornerbacks tremendously. It's going to go back to the old defense where you want to watch the defense more than the offense this year. Just my gut feeling. I hope Mike Zimmer, God, he had an off year last year, and injuries just piled up. Just wasn't obviously an old 5-star, not what you want to do. Have to battle your way back all season, but I'm feeling pretty good. I think Kirk doesn't have to do a lot. If everyone else, obviously he has terrible history in being big time in the big time moments, but you got Delvin Cook back there, dude. He's a beast. He's so good. He makes that offense click, and when he's playing good, they're tough to beat, man. They run it down your throat, especially when you get in that third and fourth quarter. It's rough if you're up on them, and we're just going to be running the ball.
Yeah, feel like we might have underrated them a little bit here, but we're big Packer house, so we'll let it go. We evened it out with Mills here, putting them at 15-2, so I feel like they got a fair shake. What the hell? Again, they're gonna have that nice smash mouth running with Dalvin Cook. Hopefully, Kirk Cousins just doesn't muddle it up too bad.
That's all you pray for. Game.
Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers.
Chance has one last thing to say.
What's up?
I just want to talk to a Viking fan here. We're going 11-6. I believe they're going to the playoffs. But do you think Mike Zimmer is going to be the coach there the following year if they don't make the playoffs? Has Zimmer ran its course?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's my question. If they don't make the playoffs, do you think you move on from Zimmer?
See, and I think that's what's behind all these defensive signings. We got, I can't remember all their names, but we got that guy that opted out from the Baltimore Ravens that we signed the year before he opted out for COVID. And we got the Danielle Hunter back. I really think it's a make or break year for Spielman and Zimmer.
Definitely. So on the hot seat, if they don't make the playoffs, I think they're probably looking to kind of move on.
They're on the mild seat. Yeah, if they start out 0-5 again, those talks will be coming up for sure.
Definitely. All right. Green Bay Packers. Who wants to start this one off?
I'll go.
All right.
All right, we got them at 13-4, sorry.
Ooh. Nice.
Love it.
They're the Packers. You guys. Okay, I'll say this: if you guys got Rodgers, always have a chance. Obviously, that. So I just don't feel like any games really without reach for them, especially when they're clicking on all cylinders and they're up in the game. Man, they're hard to fight back down.
Definitely.
And game I'm looking forward to is that Kansas City Chiefs game when I actually have the Packers winning that, and it's in Kansas City.
Wow.
Gage, what you got?
I got the Packers at 10-7. I think a lot.
So do I. Hey.
Interesting. As a Packers fan, it's really hard for me to actually pick these games just because I feel like it depends on what happens with Rodgers and how he's going to actually play in the season. And like I said before with the Bears, if they just choke the games against the Bears or something happens, I don't know. I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, I think
so. I have the Packers winning the division. But...
You got them winning the division, you said?
Yeah, I got them winning the division, but
yeah,
I go either way.
The division games are always a toss up, and oh man, Smurfalick this says we're disowned for what? Putting them at 10-7. We're just being realist here. I think those division games are always a toss up. You see a couple tough ones there with Kansas City. I don't know what the heck Minnesota or Arizona's going to be this year. I see them on all the schedules here, and I don't know what to pick in that game. They're kind of like lightning in a bottle when you got it, but so I put them at 10-7. tied with the Bears record-wise. Smurfalictus says 12-5 is being a realist. What says you, Chance?
6.
That's 11-6.
That schedule, I feel, 11-6. I kind of look at the schedule here, and I feel the very first half, Green Bay's really going to benefit from that. New Orleans week 1. Drew Brees ain't there. I kind of see that it's got to be a victory. Detroit, followed up by San Francisco. Who knows who's playing quarterback there? I think that's going to be San Francisco is going to be a team that's going to be better at the end of the season, not so much at the beginning. Schedule will pop up back here. But I see the very beginning of the Yeah. We go San Francisco, Pittsburgh. That could be a tough one, actually. Then you got Cincinnati, Chicago, Washington, Arizona. I really, truly do see all those as being some wins. And then we play Kansas City. I kind of see by not really playing anybody, and things are going to be looking good. And then I think it's going to kind of slide a little bit. I mean, matchup I'm really looking forward to. I want to say that's going to be Christmas is Green Bay versus Cleveland. Kind of a Cleveland fan this year. I think they're going to be pretty good. I can't personally remember the last time Green Bay played Cleveland, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I want to say it's Christmas time, so I would also say I've kind of got 2 predictions for these guys. If Rodgers ain't there, I'm saying 6-11, and man, that might be generous. I just don't know what we're going to get out of Jordan Love if that's the case. Maybe another matchup to look forward to on this schedule would be, per se, if Rodgers is traded. San Francisco was once a target. Washington was another name mentioned. What if we're going into those games and we're playing against Rodgers? So that would definitely make for a very interesting matchup to watch, I feel.
Definitely. Well, I know Rodgers will be here, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to stick with my 10-7. He'll be here. And I was
Never know, man. Never know.
Yeah. Well, I was open to some other ideas, but
I think we said that about Favre at one point too.
Well, I think that's a different situation. I mean,
well,
Rodgers
we
is
didn't
under
expect him.
contract. Like, his options are play, retire, or I guess hold out for a trade. But I don't see it happening.
You imagine if he retires and comes back.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anything's possible.
As a tight end.
Tight end.
Yeah.
After playing
5 years
baseball.
later.
Excellent.
I'm sure, him playing outfield really translates to playing the position of tight end in the National Football League.
So
Get real.
The division winners, me and Chance had some ties. So, Mills, you had the Vikings winning it at 15-2? 15-2?
Yeah.
What? All right. Gage had a clear-cut winner with Green Bay at
10-7.
10-7. Chance, you had a tie between Green Bay and the Vikings, and who do you have taking the division?
I feel in this season we're probably going to split those games. It's probably going to be one of those weird ones where we go win it in Minnesota and they come win it in Green Bay, especially if I go to the game. I never get to see Green Bay win in Green Bay. I only see them win in Minnesota. So, I'm going to say that Green Bay is going to take it. I don't know how that's going to work out with tiebreakers and such, but I feel like they're going to end up splitting. But go Green Bay.
All right, Green Bay. And I had a tie between Green Bay and Chicago at 10-7. And of course, you know me. I'm a realist. I had to go with Chicago. I think they're going to take the division this year. Could have the rookie of the year playing there with Justin Fields. And that defense is really going to hold them up. It's going to be a rough year with the turmoil in Green Bay. The Lions are going to be the Lions, and the Vikings always mess it up. So we'll take the Bears going to the playoffs and winning the division.
It's our year. It's our year this year.
We'll see. All right,
This one, the other ones don't count.
We're moving on to NBA play-in games. And so who do we got for the play-in games, Chance?
The East, we got our 9-10 matchup. We got the Indiana Pacers going against the Charlotte Hornets. Do you want a prediction out of that, or I guess what are you looking for?
So we got the Charlotte Hornets going up against the Indiana Pacers in the East. And then in the West, who do we have?
You know what? Hold on. So this plan thing, let me explain this to everybody.
Yeah, break this down
So
for us.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got two spots that are up for grabs. So you're going to have the 9 and 10 team. They're going to play each other. Not go to the playoffs. The winner will play the loser from the matchup. Let's go to the West here, for example. We got the Lakers playing the Warriors. Let's say the Lakers win that game. They are going to get the 7 seed. The Warriors aren't out yet. Then the Warriors will play the winner from the 9-10 matchup, who's going to be the Grizzlies or Spurs. So say the Grizzlies win. So that'll be our Grizzlies Warriors for that 8 seed. It's kind of confusing. Still don't really understand why the NBA is going with this. But so basically, if you're one of the 7 or 8 seeds, you're playing double elimination. You got to lose twice to not make the playoffs, if that makes any sense. And then if you're in the 9 and 10 slot, you got to win both games and make the playoffs.
Okay.
That makes sense. If you look at it on paper, it makes a little bit more sense. It's a little easier to see with a visual, but I don't know why they're gonna make it so confusing. Just leave it 7 and 8. I don't know why we're including these bottom feeders to go get swept in the first round, but whatever.
I think the Hornets are going to move through a little bit. I'm a big LaMelo Ball fan, so.
Yeah, so why'd they decide to do that this year then, Chance? Just to get more views for the playoffs?
Don't know exactly. I know they brought it up. What was that?
To get more views, more games for the playoffs, I guess, would be my assumption.
Oh, I'm sure. Just like MLB, they added a play-in thing too. NFL added what? Now you only got one number 1 seed. Now there's an extra playoff spot there too.
Yeah.
I'm sure in sports, you can always look at it. It's coming down to money. You know, it's to get another televised game, to get it, you know, it's money on the money. I think it's kind of a watered down product at that point, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of last year. I think it was okay, you know, with everybody being in the bubble, and it was a weird off year or whatever, you know, experiment.
For sure.
I thought that was kind of cool. Let's go back to the way things were.
And so with the teams we got in here, we got the Hornets versus the Pacers, and then the Grizzlies versus the Spurs in the initial play-in games.
Matchups.
Yeah, the 9 and 10 seeds.
The 9-10s. Now, when do those take place? Tuesday?
Play-in
Monday?
starts May 18th.
Tuesday.
Oh, tomorrow or Tuesday.
Yep.
Yep.
Happy Monday,
play-in
y'all.
Game start Tuesday, and then the actual playoffs start on the 22nd.
All right. So, between the Pacers and the Hornets, who do you got here? I mean, you had the Hornets. I know they had Ball out for a good stretch there, and man, I love the way he plays basketball and the way he attacks the game. Probably one of my favorite young players, although, I mean, you got to say the same about Ja Morant, too, the way he's out there getting it. You know, that probably affected their record. Do you think that they'll be able to beat the Pacers?
And I agree with that statement 100%. You know, having Ball out for, I don't know exact number of games, but I want to say for at least 2 months, and then back and be the year, man. I kind of think he's going to rise to the occasion, rise to the moment, and I think that they're going to beat the Pacers and move on, and they'll play the loser of the Celtics and Wizards game.
So they will win. They'll beat the Pacers. All right.
I think so.
And so when they move on, you said they're going to play the winner of, or the loser.
Loser.
The loser.
The Celtics or Wizards game. Whoever wins that 7-8 matchup gets that 7 seed.
Okay.
So say if the Hornets do win the game, then they're fighting for the 8 seed. There's no way they can get the 7 seed. So they're fighting for the 8 seed. They got to win both games, and then they would be in at the 8 seed.
And who do you see winning that game? Do you see the Wizards taking it? Who they got?
Boston.
Westbrook.
Hot right now. Real hot, especially Westbrook and Brad Beal. And I don't know, Boston, they're kind of having a weird. They also just around, which is probably their second best player.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard a thing from Kemba Walker in a minute. I don't see a whole lot out of Boston. I would actually I kind of hope they end up playing the Hornets, and the Hornets get in there in the 8th seed. I don't really want to see Boston around anymore. You're annoying. Get out of here. But Boston, like they were supposed to be so good, so the last 3-4 years, and they actually just keep declining and declining and declining.
Yeah,
and this is a young team that's supposed to be getting better. Well, they're not. So, and they're missing Jaylen Brown, who's a dang good ball player. So, I at 7 and 8 seed, I kind of see the Hornets getting it, and the Wizards getting that 7 seed. Yeah, Brad Beal playing out of his mind, Westbrook playing out of his mind. So they're gonna earn the right to go lose in the first round, I guess.
Nice. So then we got the West, and in the West we had, let me know.
LA and Golden State for the 7th and 8th seed. Yeah, the Lakers and Golden State Warriors. And then for the 9 and 10 seed is Memphis and San Antonio.
Nice. Who you think's winning that, Mills? Memphis or San Antonio?
I mean, I just don't see how the Lakers lose or Golden State loses. I mean, I think they'll take their 7 and 8 seeds, which they should already be in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost a moot point with the Spurs and Memphis. I mean, anything could happen, but I mean, you got these teams that, like Chance said, it's getting a little less interesting once you start adding teams that really have no business being there. And I mean, at least the other teams have some more exciting players a little bit.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
at least Ball's in the other group. What do you got, Chance, for this game?
The Grizzlies beating the Spurs. Good job, Morant. He seems to me like a second coming of Russell Westbrook, and that Grizzlies team is feisty. They were feisty, and they almost got into the playoffs too. And then they're going to play the losers of the Lakers and Warriors game, which I see being the Warriors. Lakers are starting to get everybody back right now. I think they're going to be one of the stronger 7 seeds we've seen in a long time. Kind of back up Miles' point. I feel like, in the East, it could be open with some of those teams, but in the West, I don't see it being the Lakers and Warriors earning their respective seeds with the 7 and 8. Steph Curry and the Warriors are playing hot right now too. They're going to run into a Lakers, but I don't see Steph Curry losing 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And to not make it into the playoff. I just don't see it happening. The guy's a champion. That team has a lot of experience. They're ready for the moment. See them not getting bounced out in a play-in game. Just don't see it happen.
Definitely. All right, so that'll be it for the play-in games. We'll see if we can't get together maybe during the week and talk some playoffs, unless you guys want to dive a little deeper into the playoffs right now. I don't know what you're thinking.
Let's see how it plays out this week. Once the games go, then we got something else to talk about.
Definitely. All right. Next up, we are moving on to Kobe Bryant, the Mamba, and the Basketball Hall of Fame ceremony that we had going on this week. So, Chance, I'll pretty much have you take this away after we talk about it just a little bit. The baseline: Kobe Bryant was inducted into the Hall of Fame with a couple other great players. Kevin Garnett. Who else did we have?
Hawkin, Tamika Catchings, WNBA player. I want to say Mike Breen was also a part of this, announcer. It could be, the greatest Hall of Fame class of all time.
Yeah, huge class. And go ahead. Sorry.
No, this is a huge class. You got three huge names between Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan. Between them, all three of them, that's 99,623 points scored. It's a fun little fact here. Between the year 1998 and 2010, which is a 12-year run, either one of those three either won a title, an MVP, or a scoring title. So the impact that anyone in the league, these names, household names. Other than Kevin Garnett, I mean, these guys all stay with their respective franchises their whole entire career, which is pretty rare nowadays. You got MVP, each one of them winning an MVP, which is an incredible feat in itself. And you got 3 MVPs going in, 4 if we want to count Tamika Catchings. I'll get into her in a second here, but this is also the first Hall of Fame class that's had 3 MVPs come out of the NBA. A little bit on Tamika. She's a WNBA champ, Finals MVP. Something I think is pretty important here. She's a 5-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think that's just an amazing feat in itself. 5 times to be the Defensive Player of the Year. That's kind of unheard of. She's an NCAA champ. I want to say, if not 4 gold medals. All-time goals leader in the WNBA. Some rank her in the top 5 of all time. Got to give the ladies a little love. She also wore number 24, Kobe Bryant's number. I don't know if that's any bit related or not. But fun fact as well, her dad and Kobe's dad, Joe Bryant, played in Italy together when they were professional players, which I think is pretty special. Kind of have that tie back to Italy. Going in the same Hall of Fame class together, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, you got to respect anybody who's going to put in the work to get 5. Was it 5 consecutive Defensive Players of the Year?
It wasn't consecutive. It would be pretty nuts.
But still, I mean, that's the award you got to put work in for. You know what I mean? Grinding every day.
That's not a talent award. That's
right.
Work, man.
Definitely. And it was a great day to honor the late Kobe Bryant. And Chance, I'm sure you had a lot of emotions. I know he's your favorite player of all time, I would say. What'd you think of the ceremony?
Vanessa came up, Kobe's wife came up and gave the speech, walked up to the stage by Michael Jordan. I actually thought, the way they were wording it, I thought Michael was going to give a speech, but he didn't. But he was up there, right by her side, Vanessa looking beautiful in her Laker purple. Kind of things that are kind of cool. Vanessa talked about that she never bragged to anybody or brought up, Kobe's personal achievements because us crazy fanatics all do that. There's no reason to do that in her house. This was her time to finally do it, to break Kobe up a little bit as a basketball player. And funny, she was saying that she can just see Kobe sitting up and having us saying, "Isn't this some shit? Finally you're breaking me up a little bit. It's a little weird. Never heard it." She talked about, how it kind of sucks, having to hear everything through somebody else, Kobe Bryant's. But she talked about how, Kobe remembers going to games when he was younger, sitting up in the nosebleeds, watching his favorite player, and she kind of turned over and looked at Michael Jordan, who was right by her side, saying, who else? Michael kind of had a cool little smile. Kobe always looked up to MJ. That was his idol. Kind of tried stealing all his moves and being the second coming of Michael Jordan as much as he could. Talk about some of the injuries that he fought through, and ask him, Kobe, why are you're getting an IV at halftime? Why are you going out there and finishing these games or playing these games that are meaningless games, which we now see a lot of NBA players taking rest days or load management, as it's called. And what makes Kobe Bryant one of my favorites of all time is that he said, what about that fan that saved up, to come see me once? I need to be on the court for my fans. Whatever the injury was, whatever the illness was, that's just amazing. Saving up all your money, making a trip halfway across the country to go see your favorite player play, and he's got a hangnail. So he's just going to hang it up for the night. Or he's tired, played it back-to-back,
Yeah.
And I did this in seasons where, especially towards the end of his career, the Lakers were trash. They were bad. And he was playing through some stuff, and he would do everything he could to show up for his fans. And I just think that's amazing. For me personally, also, like, kind of watching the second half of that guy's career, as a father who was really interested. He's got 4 daughters. Rest in peace, Gigi. But one of his proudest things that he took a role on himself was being a girl dad, and to his 4 daughters, Natalia, Bianca, Capri, and Gigi. Pretty cool. When you think of Kobe Bryant, you think of the dog, the man, just man stuff. He thought he'd always want a son, and according to him, he just wanted daughters, and he got daughters. And taking on that role, I think, is pretty cool, pretty special. It's kind of a somber moment because I don't know when or if, the guy's ever going to get brought up that much anymore when it comes to sports, unless we're talking about stats, history, statistics. I feel like this was kind of finally the farewell for Kobe Bryant. We had one last thing to look forward to was, his Hall of Fame induction. So cool. Her speech was pretty short, about 12 minutes, but it was very well done. Best part about it was at the end, hearing all the fans one last time, Kobe, Kobe, Kobe. Almost got a tear in my eye. I had to fight, but it was great.
Definitely.
Good.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Also, another thing to keep in mind, this.
Kobe.
Oh yeah, and this was also the class of 2020. Some people kind of get confused because they're having it now in 2021. This was postponed from last year due to COVID.
Okay.
And I want to say class of 2021, which will come out here soon. I want to say Ben Wallace is part of it. Paul Pierce. And there's another guy around from that same era that'll probably headline that class.
Wow, nice class there too. Tough to compete with this one though, with Kobe going in. Again, rest in peace, Kobe and Gigi. And that will pretty much wrap it up for the show. We'll bring Gage back on here. Where you at, bro? All right,
Here, bro.
my guy. Hey, make sure you go ahead and follow us, support us over at TUN Sportscast. Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Insta. the Up North Sportscast on YouTube. You can always catch us here on Sundays doing our live shows. Today we bled a little bit into Monday, but that's all right. Getting a little wild at Club Gruden. We might go back there in a minute. But we love you. Thanks for coming out. And we will catch you next time. Gage, where you at, bro?
I don't know.
Hey.
I'm not allowed to Club Gruden.
We checking
Did you get
IDs, man.
Yeah, they covered me.
Hey, y'all have a good night, though.
All right, give it a few Blair Walshes and Miles was peeing on the ball, bro. Get out of Club Gruden.
Oh, my God.